Hello everyone, this is Romario with a new Premodern video, and today I've got a deck that's not a meta deck, but it's definitely a classic from old extended. Don't believe it was in standard, but definitely from old extended. But before we get started, if you like Legacy, if you like Premodern, I kindly ask you that you can hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave your comments below on the card choices, lines of play, etc. Love reading the comments. So yeah, for today's video, like I mentioned, it is Premodern is all throwback, right? But this one is really a throwback. This list, I got it from one of the challenges. I believe the player's name was Luis Salvato from Argentina. He got 7th place in one of the challenges. And I think I mentioned one of my either stream or previous videos. I recently got my hands on like a playset of Illusions of Grandeur in paper. I owned donates for like a while, and I just never thought it was like worth getting the illusions. Eventually I did it. So I've tried the I don't know if I have it here, but it was like a blue-black tricks list. Might be this one here. Yeah, I've tried I'm sorry, this is a mono blue one, but there was a blue-black one that did well in one of the webcam events. So I've just been kind of like trying to get Illusions of Grandeur donate to play like a version that I can play and actually kind of win some matches. Then I saw this list and I was like, oh, perfect. A good player did well in a challenge, so let me give it a try. I played a couple of leagues. The deck felt pretty good. Definitely, I need to learn still some of the ins and outs of like this type of combo in Premodern. But yeah, it was like I was pretty excited to see Morphling and Illusions donate in a competitive deck in Premodern. So just real quick, I think the deck, anybody that's been around or played Premodern before knows how this works. But if you're new to Premodern, or if you didn't play in extended in the late 90s, I think, early 2000s, I believe that's when this deck was good in extended, when we had Necro and Vampiric Tutor. So it's a deck that, you're using the combination of Illusions of Grandeur, which I believe has some of the mechanic has changed a little bit of the rules over time, but the combo is still there, which is, so it is an enchantment that costs 1 blue and 3. It's got cumulative upkeep of 2. And when this enters, the enchantment enters the battlefield, you gain 20 life. And then when it leaves the battlefield, you lose 20 life. What we're trying to do is to cast it, gain the 20 life, and then immediately give it to our opponent. Or at least immediately is the best way. We'll go with that. And then so that we have this card called Donate, which is 1 blue and 2, and target player gains control of target permanent you control. So you can give them any permanent you control. We're trying to give the Illusions of Grandeur to them. And then either they're not going to be able to pay for it, or we can use a card like Chain of Vapors to put it back in our hand. But that will trigger the second part of the card, which means that they'll lose 20 life. So a few things to keep in mind here. One, the first part and the second part are both triggered abilities. So we're playing Premodern. Cards like Stifle exist. Enchantment removal exists. So one of the things you got to keep in mind is that when Illusion of Grandeur enters the battlefield, you'll gain 20 life, but that's a trigger that goes on the stack. The second part can still happen even before the first one happens. So I'm not trying to make it sound too complicated, but if Illusion of Grandeur enters the battlefield, you get the trigger to gain 20 life. If anything happens to Illusion of Grandeur before that resolves, then you lose 20 life. So which you probably lose the game because you're not gaining life with this deck. So if your opponent uses a Chain of Vapors or a Disenchant, a Naturalize, anything that destroys or makes the Illusion of Grandeur leaves play, you're going to lose 20 life before you even get the first part of the card to resolve. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Also, of course, all those things can be stifled. So giving illusions to your Dreadnought opponent when comes a time for them to lose 20 life, either because they weren't able to pay for the upkeep, cumulative upkeep, or because you bounce it back or whatever, that can be stifled, and then they can just, illusions just doesn't do anything, right? So those are two things I'd like to highlight before I start the league, because these were some interactions that I'm trying to remember. And I don't think they were common interactions back when this card was played in extended. So it was a much more straightforward, if you resolve it, and donate resolves. It was kind of like that's how it happened, right? I don't think Stifle was a thing at the time. Like there wasn't that many cards that that would destroy enchantments in people's main decks and stuff like that. So just something to keep in mind. But that's the combo. That's basically what the deck's trying to do. Get Illusions of Grandeur in play, donate to your opponent, and then either bounce it, and of course the illusions will come back to your hand, which will cause them to lose 20 life, or just let them not be able to pay for it. Against some of the more aggressive decks that you don't believe they have ways to remove Illusions of Grandeur, especially in game one before sideboard, having illusions passing a turn, when they pass the turn back to you, if you're able to donate to them, the cumulative upkeep counters will stay on the card. So you pay 2 the first time. Another counter will be added to Illusions of Grandeur. So when you give it to them, they'll have to pay 4 to keep the illusions from leaving play. So just something, another interaction to keep in mind. So looking at the deck here. So we have some soul lands. We have the Ancient Tombs, then the 2 Crystal Veins, 15 islands. And these numbers, they seem correct for me. Like, no, you're probably asking like, why don't see the traders? This deck is super mana hungry, and you want to make your land drops and keep the lands in play. So having seeded traders wouldn't really give you that much of an advantage, because we're not playing a deck like Tinker Fling that you just using your lands as a one shot 2 mana soul land, like just a soul ring makes more sense. This one you kind of just want to play sort of like a control game sometimes if you're playing against a slower deck. You want to go faster if you're playing against an aggro deck. But having a land stay in play make much more sense than playing a seeded traders that give you 2 mana, don't cost any life. That's definitely something that I noticed, because as I was playing, I was like, well, maybe a seeded traders 1 or 2, maybe. It would not be very good in my opinion. So I think this mana base seems fine to me. No fetch lands also seems okay. There were a couple of times that when you impulse, or if you cast a Flash of Insight, you are forced to put cards at the bottom of your deck that maybe you don't want to keep them there. But we do have Portents that can shuffle the deck. So that's the one thing I was thinking, like maybe having fetches to kind of shuffle cards that you might want to later in the game to be in your deck instead of just at the bottom of your deck. But we're also playing a combo deck that life total is a resource, so the fetches could add up, like when you have fetches and Ancient Tombs. So I think the mana base seems perfect, like for as the deck is constructed at the moment. Then we have the 2 copies of Chain of Vapors. Again, they are part of our Donate Illusions combo, but it's definitely like the less important part, right? So 2 copies, they seem fine. There is a 3rd copy on the sideboard. I do think that having 3 in the main deck could make sense, because Chain of Vapors also is like a good card to get rid of things like Dreadnought on the other side of the board, or if your opponent has like a Seal of Cleansing or something, anything like that. So Chain of Vapors doesn't have to be just for your combo, but it can also help you fight through different things if you didn't have the counter magic on that turn. But we're playing with 2. That's the list that Luis had on Magic Online, so we'll go with that. Then 4 cards of Portent. Again, we just have cantrips to help us find the combo and counter magic. Sapphire Medallion. That card is excellent in this deck. All of our spells are, not all of them, but the combo part, they're very mana hungry cards. One costs 4 mana, the other one's 3 mana. So making your whole combo only costs 6. Is that 6? Where am I? No, I'm sorry. 2, 5. So making your whole combo only costs 5 mana is a lot better than making your whole combo cost 7. And I don't know if it makes sense what I'm saying, but a Sapphire Medallion will make a donate cost 2 mana, and Illusion of Grandeur just costs 3. So you could combo for 5 mana. Also, an early Sapphire Medallion just makes all your accumulated knowledges, your mana leaks, and impulses cost a little 1 blue. So a Sapphire Medallion that card is just great in this deck. And it's definitely one of those things that I didn't realize until I started playing the deck. And like I mentioned, so more cantrips. So we had the 4 AKs. We do have the intuitions too, so we can always do the whole intuition for three AKs and cast an AK that draws 3 cards. Again, they all have some synergy with Sapphire Medallion. All these cards were cards that would get a discount from Medallion, so just really good. If you like to draw cards, this is a deck for you. 4 copies of Impulse. Impulse, obviously a good, really good card if you're trying to find a specific card. It doesn't give you much card advantage, but it's like, no, it finds the pieces that you're looking for. Again, we're an A plus B combo, so Impulse, just really good card in this type of decks. Then we have Mana Leaks and Counterspells as protection, trying to interact with your opponent's deck and protect your combo. Mana Leak maybe a little bit better since we have all the lands that produce colorless mana, and we have Sapphire Medallion. And then we have, of course, the Donate, Intuitions that I already mentioned. And then we have more cantrips with Factor Fiction. Again, another card that it gets a lot better when you have Sapphire Medallion and you have Ancient Tombs in the deck. Just as an example, turn 1 Ancient Tomb for Sapphire Medallion, turn 2 Island. Now your Factor Fiction is online like on turn 3. It might not seem like it's great, but it is. Then we have the Illusions of Grandeur, then 1 copy of Foil. The foil, I'm a little puzzled by that. I guess it's just like obviously foil is very good as this format's like Force of Will, but I'm a little skeptical like when they 1 copy of foil, but it makes sense. It's a card that you can cast for free. And this deck does draw a lot of cards, so you should always have extra cards to discard. But yeah, it's the one, I think that's the one that's the odd one out here. Maybe it's like a flex slot. And then we have Flash of Insight, which is a card that I think it was great every time I drew, every time I casted, which makes me wonder, maybe I should have 2 Flash of Insights instead of the first foil. But it's a card that gets worse when you have multiples. You don't want to draw 2 of them in the same game, I would imagine, because you're going to run out of blue cards in your graveyard. Because really, like, in this deck, you're looking for the flashback portion of the card, right? Like, you're really trying to exile all the impulses and factor fictions and then try to find your combo or a counter magic when you need to resolve your combo. But every time I drew this card, it was fantastic. So definitely like the 1 Flash of Insight in this deck. Looking at the sideboard, so we got anytime you play a combo, having a sideboard that has multiple of the same card, you really got to think, is it really worth it, right? Because it's really hard for you to sideboard multiples of the same effect without diluting your combo, right? So that's what you see here. So there's 2 copies of Annul. Then obviously red decks can be a problem because we're a mono blue deck, so they have Pyroblast on top of usually being very aggressive decks. You talk about like Sly and Goblins. So there are 2 copies of Blue Elemental Blast, 1 copy of Hydroblast, 3 copies of Chill. I would think that all of these are very good against decks that are playing Lightning Bolt and Goblin Lackey. We have the extra copy Chain of Vapors. I really like this card in decks that you have to combo and basically combo, right? Like, give the illusions to your opponent and bounce it back, right? You don't want to like illusions, pass a turn to your opponent and hope that nothing goes wrong, right? So having the 3rd Chain of Vapors, usually that's what I have in mind when I cite in the Chain of Vapors. And then we have 2 copies of Counterspell. That's probably very good against any of the slower blue decks. And then we have Morphling. I really like Morphling against some of the black decks that have a lot of discard spells, because usually their removal takes up space that they can use for cards against your combo. I don't know if that makes sense. So they could bring things that are very good post board, of course, right? Post board, they will bring more cards that are good against the Illusions of Grandeur Donate combo. But that usually cuts into things like Diabolic Edict or Smod or Vendetta, whatever the removal spells that they're using, right? And if it's like a black and white deck, they might bring like things like Seal of Cleansing or a Silence. I'm trying to think of anything that destroys enchantments here. And then that probably cuts into cards like Swords of Plowshares. That even though Swords of Plowshares is not great against Morphling, but it's still if they have to take out their removal spells to bring more things to interact with Illusions of Grandeur or Donate, then Morphling might just go the distance, right? So it's just I really like Morphling, and an excuse to play Morphling. It's a good excuse for me. And then we have 2 copies of Phyrexian Furnace. Phyrexian Phyrexian Furnace is just it's a very good card in this format. I think a lot of the decks do interact with the graveyards, like even silly decks like not silly, but I'm sorry, silly interactions like Elves, like just having Squee and Anger and Genesis. Some black decks would have things like or blue black like like Psychotog or anything that even Terravor, I guess, like you might be able to just control the size of the graveyard with a Phyrexian Furnace. I still sometimes think that Tormod Script's a little better than Phyrexian Furnace, but in this deck, we're playing a blue deck that wants to draw cards, so maybe the second paragraph in the card makes it a little better than Tormod Script, but I wouldn't think it's too crazy to swap Phyrexian Furnace for Tormod Script in this deck. All right, well, I think I talked too much about this deck. Like I said, very nostalgic deck. We've got Illusions of Grandeur, Donate, Morphling. Just pretty excited to try to record it with this deck. And again, if you like Legacy, if you like Premodern, don't forget to hit the follow button. And let's get started with round one. All right, so we're here for round one. The hand's a little sketchy, but it's gonna remind me of the when Ponder was legal and standard, and would keep a hand like this. Oh, we're playing against the mono blue combo. That's interesting. That is very interesting. Also, like playing this land on the first land drop. I think I had it on one of my videos. I think to really, I know it's maybe this person knows something I don't know, but I noticed playing this deck that the opponent's deck, that Teferi's Isle, it was a lot better if you play the turn you're gonna combo, because then you can just like start untapping and stuff. But it does set up for like the next turn if they want to try to kill me the next turn, right? If I pass to them, and so in that case, I am going to try to hold up counter magic. But generally speaking, I think Teferi's Isle, you want to play it the turn that you're gonna combo. Sometimes this stuff comes down to like play style and context of your hand. I just got my hand on a playset of those like in paper, and I'm pretty happy. We're gonna do this. I know how good the card is. Oh, actually no, maybe I should have gone with Counterspell, right? Because then I can't hold up counter magic. Arcane Denial. Okay, I will draw 2 cards. If I draw an Ancient Tomb, then I could play my own Medallion. I could play my Medallion and Chain of Vapor this. That's maybe I should have played the Counterspell that turn instead of Mana Leak. I didn't think that through. Second Crystal Vein to just play a Sapphire Medallion is going to feel terrible. Chain of Vapors, this thing does not seem good too. What's the play here? I think I'm going to do this. It is not... Yeah, I should have definitely played the Counterspell instead of the Mana. Because Mana Leak and Counterspell, I think they're pretty similar here. They are a deck that needs a lot of a lot of mana too. So right, if I get to untap, maybe I can win. No, the thing is that my combo doesn't like kill them because they can just combo me back. So now they had their medallion again. And a hand. Okay. I just want to draw an island here. Did not find an island. So I think I'm just going to pass. Got options. Impulse for 1/1 for the low price of 1 mana. We're gonna do with all that mana. 4 plus 1 less. Frantic Search. Oh, that makes. Yeah, I'm gonna try to counterspell that. Maybe they have a second one. AK. Okay. Cool thing is I have AKs in my deck too. Another AK. Okay, so they drew 5 cards. So I think what I want to do here, Merchant Scroll. All right. What are they going to grab? Merchant Scroll. Frantic Search. Now, do I want to do this on my turn or in their turn? I'm going to do it on their turn. They want to counter. They did not. I don't think I need the Portents. 2 for mana leak. I'm sorry, 2 for counterspell. 1 for mana leak. And I can still cast. I can't really cast the Factor of Fiction. I think I'm just gonna pass here. Any wish? Time for me to do this. This mana leak is just slowly getting worse. Counterspell. Yeah, so I think I'm just gonna discard Portent. Alright, so the hand is Frantic Search and some mystery cards. Some extra islands. That's pretty good. Pretty good for the opponent, not for me. Helm of Awakening. Well, I wasn't planning on casting my Factor of Fiction. Now I am. That one is symmetrical. I probably just take the one that has more cards and... Yeah, the Helm of Awakening. Oh, yeah, I'll definitely take this one. Who doesn't like to draw cards? So the Stormy is 3. So there's also the fact that I have 31 cards in my deck, and if they are running a version that runs, say, 4 Brain Freezes, like they could start just Brain Freezing after a couple of spells, right? So I'm gonna play this one less, and I'll play this one too. I need to cast this. No, I don't think I cast Portent. I'm going to discard this Crystal Vein. Okay, so now my Factor of Fictions costs one blue. Pretty good. Little it can't be discounted anymore. Okay, so I already have the Illusions in the donate, so I think I just want to find another Chain of Vapors. Or Counter Magic, maybe. Yeah, take the top part. 25 cards left in my deck. Getting a little scary. I could just get Brain Freezed out of the game. Maybe just give them 2 Illusions of Grandeur. Get the top part. Alright. 2. Let me see. So if they Brain Freeze me, that's cards now. Hey, you know what? I think giving them 2 illusions is not out of the realm of possibility here. Oh, actually, Flash of Insight's probably a little better. That was my mistake. I don't have that much blue mana actually in play. Guess I got another mana leak. Now that I already did that. All right, let's do this. Yeah, this doesn't even cast anything in my hand or with all this Sapphire Medallions and oh, okay. Cool. But I think versus their deck, I have to have these. Maybe this too. I have to be able to bounce the whatchamacallit. Illusions of Grandeur. Like I can just pass and hope that they don't kill me on the following turn. I like Annul because they have the artifacts that give them discounts. Foil seems interesting. Again, I hate Portent, but I was wondering about 8Ks here because it is a symmetrical effect. I don't know if that's correct. Then in this case, maybe I can just. But then I think I'm gonna go with. Oh, I can't keep this hand. YOLO. Maybe they'll play a Helm of Awakening. On the second round. Never didn't happen. I'm not sure if the logic of citing out AKs makes sense here. Maybe it's just a flawed idea that I had, but they're probably an F6 here because if they do play Helm of Awakening, I'm gonna. Oh, they didn't. Let me know in the comments. What do you think? I'm not sure. Like, so there's some decks that again, this is just me trying to figure out things. I haven't really talked to anyone about this deck. I mean, talking like in terms of like sideboard strategies, anything like this. But it seems like there's some decks that I don't want to tap out or even cast Portent. Like, I think it's just better to operate at instant speed. And I also just think Portent is just like a terrible card. It is one of the better cantrips we have in the format, but it's not very good. All right, so here I can look for either for a land drop or one of these things. I think I'm just gonna get the land. I'm gonna put this back and then I really need to make land drops. I guess it's the only disadvantage of citing out AKs, because AKs like gives you volume, right? Like you don't. It's one of the things that one of the, I guess, holistics I guess I have for Premodern, like, or like Magic in general. Like, no, if you're trying to, I guess more for Premodern, because Impulse doesn't really sit playing Legacy anymore. But if you're looking for a specific card, then you want Impulse. If you want to just draw a lot of cards, like if you like playing Tide Control, for instance, a lot of times you just want to have a specific card. You want to draw Tide or Stifle or Vapors, then you cast Impulse. But if you just want to draw multiple cards like no lands and Counterspell, then you keep things like AKs. All right, so now at the point of the game that even if I somehow Illusions donate, they have 3 lands and 7 cards in hand, so I could very well just lose the game there too. Cunning Wish. I think I'm going to penalty. I believe they don't have that many ways to like. I don't think they have too many copies of Cunning Wish in their deck these days. So I guess now Medallion or Ancient Tomb. Oh, I found both. think I'm gonna get a medallion, and maybe I'll. Because if I find another land, then I'll have. Is it 5 plus? Okay, do this. I also like the Annul. They have 6 cards in hand, but their deck also the kind of magic that they have, they really have to use it for the combo. I think countering my stuff to prevent me from comboing like this. I'm not sure if that's the best way, but again, and context and stuff. All right, so another sleight of hand. And I think they have to have Sapphire Medallion, or at least a mana land that makes 2 mana to be able to combo. Or it makes things easier, right? Because they're snapping and Cloud of Fairies, that kind of stuff. So, all right, we're gonna do this again. Now I need to find another land. There's no lands here, so I'm gonna shuffle this. Chain of Vapors too, because again against another combo deck, I need to basically combo twice, right? Because I need to combo and then I'm sorry, Chain of Vapors already here. So I just need something to give me a discount or an Ancient Tomb. I'm just gonna Factor Fiction. If they have Counter Magic, they're gonna probably fire off on this. And if it's an Arcane Denial, I still get to draw 2 cards anyways, so it's not terrible. Yeah, Factor Fiction is such a kind of a scary card to see your opponent cast like mid to late game. Are they gonna force me to pick the top part? They are. All right, a lot of cards that I just put in my hand. Okay, it's an island. An island. Let's play a second one. And I have to discard 2 cards. An easy mana leak here. I need to find an Ancient Tomb, I guess, and I can combo. It's an Illusions. It costs 2 to cast Illusions, 1 for donate. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I could be the victim of a Chain of Vapors, but and I think I just tried to Chain of Vapors dumb. Gonna brain freeze me. Okay. All right, cool. So that was round 1. It is not an easy matchup, in my opinion, but we're able to navigate this one. I think opponent played really well, but I don't really have anything to. There's no guys blasting, or there's no real way for me to like combat them if I combo and then pass, and then I can just it can brain freeze me on the way back, and that has happened in some of the matches that I played against the deck. All right, cool. So that was round 1. We'll see how round 2 goes. All right, so we're here for round 2, and I really like this hand. It's like super dirtily, but I really like the Sapphire Medallion into 1 blue and another blue spells that draw cards. So I'm going to keep this one. Hopefully my opponent's not going to spoil by casting Duress on turn 1. Or Cabal Therapy named Sapphire Medallion. Oh no. Okay, here's a Duress. I don't even know. Is it Sapphire Medallion? Okay, yeah. They only have 3 cards in hand too. Oh, fun. Flash of Insight. Flash of Insight can find anything you want. Basically, the Demonic Tutor in Premodern. I don't know if you guys ever cast one of these past turn 2. There you go. There's a Flash of Insight for you. So it's one of those mono black decks that tries to discard everything. Okay, Mistress Factory. The one good thing about this deck is that their clock is like usually fairly slow, so. Oh, found another. No, I don't want to give them an extra turn of attacking, so I'm going to wait until what was I going to say? I'm going to wait to tap the Ancient Tomb until I have the combo, because then in game 20 with Illusions of Grandeur, then tapping one doesn't really do anything. Hypnotic Spectre, that's annoying. All right, let's see Pulse here. I like wanted to draw the island here. Can also get a mana leak, then I can bounce this guy and counter on the way back. Is that good? Hypnotic Spectre, it will be a problem if I don't. I have to do things really slow, right? I have to. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna get the mana leak. Quite honest, I'm not sure if this was the right play here, but yeah, if I got an island here, I think I would have been in a better spot, but I'm not gonna swing with Factory. I'm gonna Chain of Vapors that guy. So if they second island, I mean land, then they can't recast it, but I mean that was the plan, right? So if that's a winning line, then I should be happy. Attack with, they don't want to attack with Mishra's Factory for some reason. Not a heapy? All right, let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna do this first. Oh, okay, so I'm just gonna get Illusions. Okay, I will get this pile. Is there any? Well, there are 2 AKs in the graveyard, so intuition doesn't really do anything. No, I think I'm fine. I think I'm just gonna... Do I preserve some life total, I guess? Let me see. I don't want to overcomplicate this in a game that's already won, but they're only going to be able to pay for it twice, right? So I think I'll do it like this. I'll give it to them. Okay. Is that, yeah, because that allows me to impulse and Flash of Insight if I want to. I think. I'm not super sure there. Okay, so I think in this matchup, Chain of Vapors, maybe not as good. I do want to try some Morphling here. Portent seems alright because it's a card that I can stack my deck, and maybe foil's not as good. We'll keep a Chain of Vapors. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of foil here. Even Counterspell seems better than foil, actually. I do like intuition because doing a thing with AKs against a deck that's trying to discard your hand, it's pretty good. Yeah, I like this. I guess Morphling on turn 3, right? No, turn 4. Unless I draw a Sapphire Medallion. Well, my opponent like mulligan low, I think last game too. So, well, not low, I guess, but mulligan to 5. The rest. Okay, you got probably intuition, right? I don't think you're gonna take AK. Yeah, makes sense. All right, impulse is a good draw too. It's a Hypnotic Spectre and Curse Scroll. I'm just gonna play impulse and pass. So is Chain of Vapors good for this scenario? I'm trying to decide now. The KK. All right, let's just impulse. I'll take the AK, I guess. Second Morphling. Could play an island. I'm not sure if they're playing Wastelands. It's possible, but and I think I'll AK first, right? Because then I draw extra cards and I don't know. Maybe it'll be relevant. What if I draw the one of Chain of Vapors? Didn't. Unlucky. Oh, they took my Morphling. Alright, so I'm going to put a Morphling in front of their creature. I shoot me for 2. What are you going to review? Probably Swamp. Oh, Dark Ritual. Okay. But I could attack. Yeah, I'm just gonna take this time. Yep. Intuition. A Dark Ritual and then reveal something else. Oh. I think I'm gonna discard this because I don't think I'm playing that. All right. Little iffy now because I can guess Factor Fiction. So how much damage they have? So I go to 6. They have 4, 5, 6 damage, but I can block one of them. So I think I'm just gonna do this right now. and hopefully they'll give me some lands and a donate. Oh, there's also AK, huh? Oh, if they leave it like this, oh no, I'm gonna do it like that. I have to choose the first pile. Any order. Play. All right, so I can I can block one of these. Okay, so currently I have 6 mana. Magic number is 7. All right, so let's just see if we can find another land. Yeah. Right, so 4, 5, 6, and it's 7. Go to 4. I'm not dead yet, right? Give it to you. Take it. Don't want it. Okay. Cool. That was round 2. Yeah, the game 2 is pretty close, I think. Maybe my approach was not correct. I mean, the Morphling turned out to be good. I played exactly one match against that deck before running this Trix list, or I don't remember if it was exactly the same 75, but it's pretty similar. But it did have Morphlings in the sideboard, and I remember Morphling was pretty good the first time. It was good this time. It kind of was like a 3/3 wall that top a Hypnotic Spectre. So yeah, which made me think that maybe I should keep Chain of Vapors. They do have annoying creatures that can kill me, but I don't know, going 1/1 against a deck that's trying to discard in Cabal Therapy, cast Rats, Cabal Therapy is like seems bad for me, but I was much more in the plan of trying to draw more cards that they can discard. But my opponent also going to 5 cards also didn't really help them. But all right, cool. Let's see how round 3 goes. All right, so we're back here for round 3. Yeah, I think this hand is a good hand for being on the play, right? The 1 blue mana, a little concerning, but what I'm looking for. Portent is looking for another island in either Illusions or no, not probably Illusions, maybe Medallion. Yeah. Sorry, I keep getting them confused, like Charm and Medallion for some reason. I think because the Medallions, they kind of look like the charms that they had in Mirage and Visions to me. I don't know. In my head, they look like that. Except the one is like an artifact. The other one is I think they're all instants, right? The charms. Like the Funeral Charm and Ebony Charm. All right, so let's see. Yeah, this look pretty good, I think. So I can probably cast Intuition next turn. Or at least I'd like to have the option to think that I want to cast next turn, but I want to save it, not get discarded. Because then I can just Ancient Tomb. Unless my opponent is playing Wastelands, then maybe I'll just play the island and pass. But if they're not playing a Wasteland deck, I can just Ancient Tomb and Intuition for triple AK. Just seems weird to think that's a good combination, right? Because it's using 2 cards and a whole turn to draw 3 cards for 2 mana. Yeah, I'm not really sure if that's a great trade-off, but it's something. All right, so they're playing Elves, so I think I probably want to do that then. So I need to go fast. I can also just grab triple. It's not Elves. I was wrong. I have the fittest. Okay. Maybe it is Elves then. Okay, so if I put actually, let me think about this one. I'm definitely gonna cast Intuition, but let me think. So if I cast Illusions of Grandeur, if I put it in play, I can tap Island those two, pass to them. Play, tap, pay for with Ancient Tomb. Can they? So the Mountain play already gives haste to whatever they cast, right? Seems super risky, but well, let's see. I'm gonna try that. May work, may not. I'm doing it so you don't have to do it. All right. They could have Naturalize in their deck, but I went for a squee. I guess if you have a Cradle hand, things get real bad for me real fast. So that's 2 mana. He's gonna get discarded? Yeah. I should have this open because I can see what they... Oh, Well Wisher. Didn't think about that one. Okay. Did not think about that card. Okay. Well, I still have to give it to them, right? So they don't even have to pay for it. Let it die. I guess the good news is that I'm at 34 life. So did they even pay for it? No, they're not gonna pay for it, right? They're just gonna go to 2 life and then gain more life. Okay, so there are 2. They're at a virtual 5. All right, I guess I can try to combo again before they go up to whatever life total they need to get to. That's 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they're gonna put the Ranger Hermit in play. They can swing for 9, 10, 11. That's a very fast clock. They're gonna hold up Well Wisher. Okay. All right. So I am going to go to 24. So I might just be dead actually. All right. So let's get Sapphire Medallion. And has it just passed here? So okay, so they're gonna go to 6. All right, 6 is still fine. Problem is if they go up to 18 and then gain 3 more life again. I think if they just grab another Hermit, they might just be able to beat me. Can also Factual Fiction, and I don't know if Mana Leak's gonna do it. They have so much mana. Well, not so much now actually. All right, there's a chance that I can combo again. Small one, but it would be wise for them to just put a Nantuko Vigilante in play and hold up mana to kill in response. I don't know. I keep closing this window. Hold on, they discarded. No, that's what they've had it before. Okay, they discarded Squee, and they are going to find. Yeah, or what's the other? So they can pick this up and untap Crystal Titania. I'm assuming that's the line here. So I might as well just factor Fiction in response to this, the second range Hermit coming down. Also, this can untap Well-Wisher on my turn. It's gotta remember that. But I don't think the life total. Oh, they have a Cradle too. Okay, so now I don't think it's lethal yet, right? Because it's still +1, so it's 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, it is 20. Is that lethal? That's 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Oh, but then I can't tap my Ancient Tomb. That's what it is. They can probably just do this attack with a Well-Wisher too. It doesn't really matter. Yeah. Because it's 1, 2. They only gain 3 life off of that guy. It's basically 20 or... Oops. I want to cast both things that I have in my hand. Alright, so I need to find Illusions of Grandeur. I only have 2 blue mana anyways. I don't know if it matters. It could if I find a Chain of Vapors. And that's getting Pulse. All right, so let me sack this. Cast this. All right, and Impulse. All right, yeah, they got it. It was I had to get Illusions and bounce back the same turn. So it's Elves. I think that's one of those decks that I need to do this. And I think foil. Maybe Mana Leak is not as good as, well, this is really nice with Medallion. I think, unfortunately, I think I need Portent for this matchup. I'm thinking shaving the Mana Leaks because you usually have the mana to pay for it. Let me try this. I'll bring Annuls for survival. Phyrexian Furnace does also make sense too, but I think it's too much. His hand is... I mean, if I... Yeah, I think I'm going to keep it. Watch them never cast a survival. So any of the draw spells that cost 1 blue and another, like AK or Impulse, are good draws. Guess no way the Medallion's good too. Donate, not right now. Alright, so I'm mulligan to 6. I'll turn 1 play. Alright, if I can find a second island. By find a mean deck. Let me draw a second island. Uh-oh. No, I'm not gonna. I was gonna just try to high roll and find an island, and maybe if they don't see 2 lands that they think is like survival is safe. I think I have to do this. We just have a second one, maybe. Play a land, second survival. Second Prince of Titanium. Okay. Now, so if I draw an island, I can just pass. Oh, I did not. This is really bad that I fell behind on the land drops. Yeah, this don't really help. Any order? Yes. No, pass. Yeah, that's the disadvantage of, like I mentioned in the sideboarding part, the counterspell versus mana leak. But I also wasn't counting that I wasn't gonna draw any islands. Like, so let's see, they've Tennis Acolyte. Yeah, I don't really have anything going on this side of the board. Elves sometimes does have this thing that they just stall. Like, no, you play things like this and don't do a whole lot. But there's 3 cards that they just drew, and yeah, with a symbiote they can draw at least one more. They can draw one more card at least here in this turn. And I don't have any cards like hibernation or anything like that in my deck, so this might be an L in this round. Fatal. Alright, so they have 2 cards in hand. They're basically set up for next turn too. So they're gonna draw an extra 2 cards next turn. I only have 4 mana maximum, or 5, so I can't illusions and put it back in their hand. Yeah, they can pay for the Molten Acolyte actually, or they can just pick them up too. 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it would have been better to play with Priest, yeah, but most likely won't matter. They have so much mana. Rebecca Gray's art is so pretty. Yeah, I just have to let everything resolve unless it's a card that I really need to counter. So if they end up going like survival, that's the best scenario, because then I can annul and AK this turn. Now if they just play, I can also chain up Vapors that precipitate and they try on that, but it doesn't really matter. Second Wirewood Symbiote. I'm very tempted to counter this. I'm going to do it. And I hope that my opponent didn't draw anything with those Molten Acolytes. I'm gonna get smacked with like some small green creatures. Tanglewire. Okay. Tanglewire is pretty good when you only have 3 lands. All right. I should probably pick them up and go to round 4. I don't think I'm getting out of this one. They have what 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8 power on the board. I can chain of vapors, Tanglewire, end of turn. Play illusions. Hope to draw an ancient tomb, I guess. If they cast survival, I have to counter too. I can't even hold up the blue mana. Yeah, I can't win here. I think I'm because it's well. Let me see if they attack. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I didn't want to attack first. It's most likely it's not going to matter because the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's a 1 turn clock. Yeah. All right, that was a hell of a game too. Not really sure. Like, no, if I maybe the hand that I kept was too reactive. Being on the play, maybe I should have been mulling into a hand that is a faster combo. Also, completely forgot about the Well-Wisher. That's not a card that I see all the time. I thought it was a bigger chance that they have a way to survival their way into Nantuko Vigilante and flipping or unmorphing. Didn't think that the Well-Wisher was a factor there. I see lists playing Well-Wisher, sometimes I don't. I should have known about that because I think my co-host Curran, he's been playing Well-Wisher in his Elves list, so I could have remembered that. Anyways, well played, opponent. We'll see how round 4 goes. All right, so this is round 4. I guess I'll keep this one. Mulling it to 5. All right, so I have half of the combo and ways to dig for the second half. Kind of hard for him to just fight. Putting this back. Phyrexian Arena on turn 1. Hell of a card on turn 1. Oh, this is super convenient. So they're definitely a deck that's going to have a hard time gaining 20 life. Okay, and this is really close, but I can't do that, right? Because I'm not going to be able to pay for my own illusions. So I'm going to take 2. I think the play here is to Guessing Pulse. Not an Antico Shade. Do I want to do this? So if I cast Flash of Insight, I see 2 cards, right? Because so that's fine. I'm just gonna go ahead and pulse. I don't even know why I did this. I'm gonna get an island. Okay. Price is adverted. Mana leak would have been a little bit better there, I think, but it's what it is. Alright, so they're gonna swing for 4. Pump it. And 6 damage. I go to 10. Really change the math here, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and this another island. So next turn I'm taking what 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna try to any order. I have to cast Illusions next turn. The Chain of Vapors is interesting. Fortunately, Flash of Insight doesn't do anything. I mean, I guess I could cast Flash and then, excuse me, then recast it. So that's 8. No, that's 6. I'm sorry, not 8. All right, so that's 8 points of damage. Not the problem is not with the Flash of Insight that it doesn't really. Well, Crystal Vein. Crystal Vein is gonna get wastelanded, so I guess I can just hold up in my hand. So Flash of Insight for another island is not terrible. So I can cast Flash of Insight. And then actually eat the graveyard. Yeah. I'm gonna do for 1. Doesn't see anything. And then I get to see 3 cards. I'm just looking for an island here. Okay. Any order? Hold on a second. It was. Oh, I could have comboed this turn. Wow, that was a mistake, right? Crystal Vein, sack plus an island. And then tap the other 2. Wow. Okay. That was embarrassing. Oh my gosh, that was terrible. I forgot that it shaves off like 1 point, one casting cost for like each of those things. Yep. Wow, that was a punch and a half here. Talk about therapy. So I'm gonna take 6. And I have to draw. I donate this turn. right, so I still have one turn that I can still find it. What do I? Because they're gonna have to pay 4, so they can't pump those guys. I don't think I can win, even if I draw donate off the top, right? Because then they pay 4. Yeah. Wow, that was a terrible mistake there, not playing the Crystal Vein. I think it's the same plan as the other game. I think I just want to like draw more cards than they can discard. Maybe the Morphling plan is good again. I don't know. We'll try. Maybe set a Chain of Vapors. Just no, have Chain of Vapors, but more counter spells. Not sure. We'll try this. So the problem with this hand here is that a Cabal Therapy just makes my hand super terrible. I think I'm gonna mulligan this one. Also, like, I'm super weak to Wasteland. This seems a little better. I think I'm just gonna put Morphling back. Put Morphling, maybe the donate. Yeah, I don't even have the other half of my combo. Yeah. All right, so I'm just gonna play an island and pass. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get rest on turn 1. That Ancient Tomb would have been much better in my opening hand instead of Crystal Vein, but Withered Wretch. Good Cabal Therapy fodder, I guess. Oh, maybe they think I have multiple Flash of Insights in my deck. I don't know. No, I didn't bring the Annuls. I'm just gonna get an island. Play this guy. They have a removal spell, the Levy. I think a removal spell plus this card would be terrible here for me, but oh, Graveborn Muse. Okay. All right, all right. Back in the day, you could, if I'm not mistaken, you could block damage on the stack, give it +3/+3, then pump it, if I'm not mistaken. Can't do that anymore. So it's just like a 3/3 that can be targeted and etc. etc. Yeah, I'll let this resolve. Probably take illusions, right? And there's a donate at the bottom of my deck, right? So comboing is gonna be a little complicated, but did they see AKs? Oh, they saw AKs in my game one, right? So maybe that's why they have the wretched. I'm just gonna do this right now. um, if I have Sapphire Medallion, um, AK doesn't do anything because they have the with a wretch, right? I'm gonna keep this one. They are losing an unhealthy amount of life total there, though. If I can get Spectre out of the way, then I could attack for 5 in the air. Don't know if I win this race, though. Masticore doesn't really work against Morphling. In Shroud. I know they can respond, but I think my chance here is to on an 8K. All right. I think it was that, right? Because I'm taking 7 here. Yeah. All right. I think that game 1 really was the game for me to win, and then try to adjust my sideboard in game 2. But all right. Opponent played really well there. We'll see if we can salvage this league and live the 3-2 dream. All right, 5th and final round of the league. I think this is kind of heavy Nation Tombs, right? We have 2 Portents, and yeah, I'm gonna keep it. Watch my channel by now, I know that I'm 8 mulliganing for some reason, which I should probably fix that, but it won't be today. Oh, I kind of like that. Okay, so quote unquote protect the Sapphire Medallion. We didn't do Rast on turn 1. Okay. So I think I'm not gonna. Well, I kind of guess I'm giving them extra information anyways. So the next card is a Crystal Vein, right? I can actually make this Flash of Insight like an actual impulse, right? Because it would be 1, 3, yeah. All right, so I'm just gonna play black and white. Is that one of those black and white control decks? There's been a couple of very budget friendly version of this deck, which is pretty neat. Yeah, I don't think they apply pressure, so I think tapping Ancient Tombs here is the same as just like the 4th life is not gonna. I don't think it's gonna matter. Ball therapy. Well, then I guess I'm gonna do this. It's the only card that they know about, right? So, oh Jesus, I guess I'll keep the what you call it, Mana Leak. All right. I need some help. I don't think they know I'm playing Illusions, right? They probably think it's a Mono Blue Storm deck, I guess. So I don't know, can name like Kanye Wish or next search. Some card that says more play. Mana Leak, I don't think it's a name to. Yeah, Brain Freeze. Okay. That is a fair card to name. Sure. We'll discard some lands. You gain some life. Oh, hold on, that's not good. But I mean, I was gonna have to get them through life anyways. So that's very awkward now because now they're at 25 life. I just realized that. We have to combo twice. Yeah. The other play would have been to Flash of Insight and leave 1 blue in case I find a Mana Leak, but I think I'm just gonna not do anything for a while here. I don't want to Flash of Insight for only 2. They know about the Mana Leak too, so it's like they're gonna play around Mana Leak, I'm assuming. Just bowl. Okay. Very good draw. Some might say it's an excellent draw. And if they want a Dust Bowl, that's fine. Dust Bowling this thing actually, in a way, makes it my a Decree of Pain. -2, -2. I used to play a mono black control deck that had a copy of this card. That's how I know what it does. Okay, so they're at 24 now. Is relevant. Let's try to factor fiction here. Okay, now they know what I'm doing. Now I have to think what I want to do here. If that's how they're going to do it, I'll absolutely keep the top part. No, okay, yeah, I still can keep the top part. Yep. Some more cards. AKs in the graveyard is fine. I don't know why I clicked on these things. Any order would have done it. Oh man. You have to keep the top one. Maybe they have a disenchant. Take this thing, please. I think that they don't even die if they don't pay for it. But I'm at 30 lives, so I can keep tapping my ancient tomb now. Okay, so they're gonna make 3 angels, is that correct? I mean 3 soldiers. And they do have a Cabal Therapy in their hand. All right. Well, the good news is I do have a Flash of Insight, so finding the 4th Illusions of Grandeur is not too crazy. Yeah. Three of them, they're gone. Three mana. Oh, that. I think I'm gonna try to mana leak. Let's see what it. Okay. Fair enough. I guess it makes sense to impulse first. Yeah, I guess we'll get the AK. And that goes first, right? Okay. So well, I'm not gonna have enough cards in the deck if I want to foil, I guess. Island AK. If we get to that point. So I do have a way of combo. Actually, hold on a sec. Can I do this now? If I give them 3, that's small for me to see here. I only have 1 donate in the graveyard. And I have 2. No, so I can't combo then. I have to actually draw what I'm looking for. Okay. So that changed things a little bit. And I can't intuition for 3 AKs neither, which is kind of sad. I don't even know if I can intuition for anything really. Well, I guess I could do some intuition, like intuition for, I don't know, for Factor Fiction, AK, and something else, right? Because I don't really have a. I can do like AK, Factor Fiction maybe. Any order. Kind of like the same thing as. Just trying to impulse here. I think Mana Leak does more now than Sapphire Medallion. And these I just want to stack, right? Because, oh man, I don't want those cards. Any order. All right, so I do have the tools to find my combo the second time. Right? I only have 20 cards left in the deck. I should be inside the top X card of your life, put them onto your hand, and then the rest of the bottom of your life in any order. Oh, so I can stack my deck after this, right? Is there more soldiers? Because I've got 25 cards in my graveyard. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 21. So I can literally see my whole deck. And then I can stack them. Or stack it. Alright, so that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So first Flash of Insight. And then Impulse for the second piece, I guess. I can counter whatever they want to do. You're gonna just bowl me. It's a morph. I'm assuming that's an angel. I don't know if it really mattered. Animate dead. I'm gonna leak this. All right, so Flash of Insight. 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, need to do in case I misclicked on one. I'm not really sure. Oh, it says right here actually. Either way. All right, so I'm going to grab Illusions of Grandeur. Okay, then I gotta stack the rest. So we're gonna put donate. Is this how does? Let me see if it, just in case I am. Hold on a second. So they keep going to the bottom. Okay. All right. I need intuition. Mana leak. Mana leak. This. And then this don't really matter, I think. This can go there too. All right. I think I don't think it matters how we do this. You take this. And then papers. Okay. Then I was going to bounce it and we have foil to counter. Well, all right. So I had to combo twice in this game. So what do I want to do here? I think I want to Morphling again. And Counterspell. You can shave an intuition. Oil. Maybe the chain of vapors. I'm not really sure they can. Well, I hate to have no chain of vapors in the deck. Maybe mana leak. I don't know. I feel like it's easy for them to play around mana leak. Kind of mana hungry, but I think since we're playing against a slow deck, I think we should have enough time to do something here. Everyone's favorite turn one. All right, so they discarded my illusions. I'm disillusioned. Pretty art for planes. I don't think I've seen this before. As you have noticed in my videos, like I'm a big fan of Premodern era, like basics. I think I'm just gonna hold on to the impulse. Really would like to find the charm, or not charm, medallion. I think it'll make my hand a lot better. And if I draw any facts or fictions, or I guess when first. I think it's the only card they, well, they're probably not gonna name that one anyways. I hate to have Flash of Insight all the way in the bottom of my deck. Also don't like illusions being there, but So let's see. No. And oh, I like all of these. All right, so let's put it. I want to draw this next turn. Maybe we'll just put the AK as the next draw. If they make, let's say if they play Gerard's Verdict, I can just discard these two, and then untap and play Morphling. And Impulse, I can easily dig for like a mana leak or counterspell here. Or of Silence. Something about that. Ooh, did not find it. All right, let's try again. Counterspell. I think I was gonna get a Factor Fiction then. Bearing the illusions. All right. They're not gonna. Oh. Are they gonna save for the illusion? Oh, that was my mana leak. Yep, I think the plan now is Morphling. Oh, Scout. I was like, they were playing something we had X in the cost, and I was like, it was a little. What is that? Like, I don't know. Getting got here by something. It costs 4 now, right? On attack. I do have another Morphling on deck too, so. Okay, with Flash of Insight being my graveyard. Shroud. It didn't have, now it does. All right, I'll do this right now because I would cast Flash of Insight here. I'm going to do it. One. Leave the AK in the graveyard. Oh, did I keep a Chain of Vapors? I think I was going to get the Counterspell. Um, you put back. Hopefully this is enough to get there. They can source a plot. They try to make tokens that can just give it flying. It is literally Superman, right? Yeah, instant speed, I think the Shroud probably would do it. All right, 3-2. I think it's usually where I live in Magic Online leagues right now. 4-1, 3-2. Don't usually go worse than that or better. I believe that there were definitely like, you know, even not. I think all these matches like I could have probably played a little better. So I thought I had like a good handle of the deck before I recorded today, but apparently I still needed to explore a little better. I think the matchup against the round one was against Mono Blue Storm. And the matchup is kind of scary. I played that. I think that's out of the matches we played in today's league. That's the only one that I had played more than once before. And it is a little scary because the kind of like I mentioned, the reasons when I was during the match that you can combo and pass and then still lose on the following turn, and that's something that, you know, I usually don't play. Mostly I play Legacy and their decks that happens a few times too. Like, no, I played Doomsday for a long time, and against Storm decks actually in Legacy, that's the same deal. Like, no, you can cast a Doomsday and pass, and then, you know, they just kill you on the swing back. And I think that's kind of like the same dynamic in this with this deck, because it's a combo that a lot of times you don't. It's harder for you to combo and win the same turn. But if you have, no, there are decks that can keep up with the life gain, and just letting them Illusions run its course is usually good enough, right? Especially against the aggro decks. If you get you down to 10 life, whatever, you go up to 30, past give them the Illusions. They don't have enough power on the board to kill you and then eventually just win. But against decks that have like Stifle, for instance, or other combo decks, you kind of have to play your game a little different. That you have to, in a way, you have to plan of doing everything in the same turn, right? Like cast Illusions, give it to them, donate to them, and then bounce it back, right? So that's something just to keep in mind when playing this deck. But yeah, I thought it was like a pretty cool league to show how the deck works. The matchup against Elves, that was also, I thought it was funny because I in the Let's Call of the Herd podcast, that when I talked to Curran, he even mentioned something about his well-wishers being the new border, and he was trying to pick up like some old border well-wishers, and completely blanked about the card. In my, I think I mentioned during the match, and that I was really more concerned about them being able to survival into Vigilante, kill my Illusions, and then I'll have to try to recombo again, right? Completely forgot about them just being able to go above 20 life and and win. Same thing happened in the last round, right? Like, no, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna combo, and then Gerard's Verdicts, I was like, I'm just gonna discard these 2 lands. They went up to 25 life, and then luckily that deck's a lot slower. Black and white control has a lot of blank cards against my deck now. All the Swords to Plowshares don't really do anything. Even the Vindicates don't do a whole lot against this deck. It is an annoyance because killing Sapphire Medallion or If you're low on lands, they can just blow up your lands and use Vindicate's a waste. I'm sorry, Stone Ray. But that deck gives you a lot more time for me to try to recombo, and that's what happened. But yeah, against the Elves, I completely forgot about it, and yeah, and then game 2, they were much more aggro than I could be. So going forward, if I was gonna play this deck again, I'd probably keep it the same way. There is some argument to maybe try to fit another Chain of Vapors, or the Flash of Insight is the other card that I'm not really sure how I feel about it, as far as like having more copies, because it feels like every time I drew a Flash of Insight, it was great. There's a lot of this card in the format. It is sort of like a 2-for-1 in slower games, right? You can in the last round, right? And I think I even mentioned that I was gonna make land drops, cast a Flash of Insight for, I don't know, 4 or 5. And then you get to redo it again a second time for basically your deck. But maybe just 1 copy is the right number. No, because you probably have to cut an Intuition or foil, I guess, if you want to fit a second one into the deck. But it was a card that I think every time I drew, it was excellent. And looking at the sideboard, I think the only thing it might be just me thinking now because this league, but maybe like a hibernation. But even that, it's because I think hibernation permanents are only creatures. I actually don't remember. Green, is it green creatures or green permanents? Did I not spell hibernation correctly? Oh, forgot that I'm on a DB account. Okay, so return all green permanents. Okay, so yeah, maybe something like a hibernation would be good here on the sideboard. But again, it might just be me thinking because I just play against Elves. But it seems like it would make sense to have one. Sapphire Medallion would make this card cost 2 mana. So Morphling was very, very good. I played again a couple of leagues before recording this, and every time I brought Morphling in, it was great. Big fan of having 2 copies of the Morphling in the sideboard. Also, it's just like such an iconic card that I think just makes me really happy to see being able to play it in Premodern. So with that being said, sure there'll be some comments on 3 of the rounds there that I can think off the top of my head. So leave your comments below. I'm really interested in what you guys think about some of the numbers in the main deck. Like I said, number of intuitions, number of Flash of Insights, foil, Factor of Fiction. I think donates Illusions of Grandeur. You got to have those 2 and in 4 ofs, of course, because that's the main idea of the deck. But yeah, leave your comments below. Love to read them. And if you like Legacy, if you like Premodern, don't forget to hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys next time.